you doing, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Honor, and for this week's video I will be doing part 2 of my favorite things. Part 1 I actually did a couple weeks ago, but there's just been a lot that's come out in between. So if you haven't already watched that video, I would also recommend watching that one after you finish watching this one. So this series is where you get to learn a little bit more about me each episode. And so the first time I shared my favorite book series, even though I have a terrible memory of most books, for this episode that I do not have a terrible memory on is music. So welcome to episode 2, where I share my favorite songs. I pick up lyrics like this. Usually, I probably know all the words to my favorite songs when I was like 10. I would say it's a pretty big part of my life. I mean, I've shared a lot of music on here. I've done song covers. I've done original songs now on here. I've been writing songs for 3 years. I listen to music every day. I am officially a non-10th grader. What's 10th grader called? A sophomore. I'm officially a sophomore. And that also means I've had In Harmony with Honor for a year now. Most of the artists that I'm mentioning in this video, I love so many of their songs, and like I would almost never be able to choose, but the songs that I mention are the ones that I listen to most, are most excited about, and are constantly getting stuck in my head. I don't know if you've seen this notebook before, but this is my random ideas notebook. I used to write down every single song on all of my playlists in this book, and I would change what it would look like. Aha! Found what I'm looking for! Right above my finger is my Alexa.
The station my soundtrack on Amazon Music.
I have no idea what's on here. So that's how I discover new songs that I love listening to. But also my dad plays, I think it's called pop culture radio a lot. That's how I normally discover new artists that I like. The first one on here is 2002. I don't know why it says 2022. It's called 2002, and it's by Anne Marie. The next person on here is Taylor Swift, and I think I've listened to her for basically my entire life, because I know when she came out with the Fearless album, me and my mom were really into that, and so we loved Mean and You Belong With Me. And then she was uncool in elementary school, and then when she came out with 1989 is when I really started getting back into her. But recently I've been listening to all her albums since she's re-releasing them. Now we're going into my early 2000s childhood. I say I have my 2014 jams. Shower by Becky G. Not sure if you know that song, but that was my Just Dance jam. As well as Dark Horse. Me and my friend would hear it on the radio when it was still on the radio on the way to like the pool in the summertime, singing our hearts out. My 3rd grade teacher, he was a musician, and so we basically didn't learn anything that year, and we just sang, which was really great, but not great for the people who didn't like to sing. I know we did tons of performances. Some of our favorites were See You Again, 7 Years. We loved those types of songs. Johnny Orlando. And so right when COVID hit, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to make playlists, because I don't think I had ever made a playlist before that. But I love the song Phobias, but the new ones he's been coming out with, and I'm pretty sure he's coming off on an album soon. But his most recent one, Someone Will Love You Better, it makes me cry. Matt Sato, what was that album called? I don't even know. It was an EP. I didn't know what that EP was. It was probably called Better Days. Okay. Anyway, Better Days. I like that song by him. Lexi Jade is another one of my favorites. Oldest Teenager was one of her first songs, actually. Walking Away, which I actually sang one time. I don't know if it was on my channel or not. And Teenage Diary, but I also love, is it called White Flowers? But she's been coming out with a lot of new music. Dylan Convicki, I love her song Bitter, Advice from the Internet, and Birthday Cake. Won't you live like the world's on fire? Won't you love like hearts don't break? Caroline Manning, Teenage Therapy. This one, I think this was the first song cover I ever did on here, but Dandelions by Ruth B. And then also July by Noah Cyrus. Olivia Rodrigo. My favorite song by her is actually Hope You're Okay. But I also really love Deja Vu. Hope You're Okay always gets left out of everything, and it makes me so sad. If we're talking about Olivia Rodrigo, we have to kind of talk about Joshua Bassett, even though that shouldn't be a thing. Heaven Is You is one of my favorites. Then Crisis, Smile by Meg Donnelly. That one just feels like one jam out in the car to you. Levitating by Dua Lipa. Ghost by Justin Bieber. Reckless by Madison Beer. Fingers Crossed by Lauren Spencer Smith. I also really like the Flowers one as well. Shawn Mendes, Wonder, and When You're Gone. Jeremy Shada. Shada, right? Shada? I don't know. Jeremy Shada. I think it's Shada. I had this Obsession series, Julie and the Phantoms, that didn't get renewed for season 2 on Netflix. He was Reggie. Stranger and Dancing with Strangers are my favorite by him. When that song came out, I actually listened to that intro and I was like, oh my gosh, this intro is so good. So before I even listened to the song, I hit pause and I kept replaying that intro, and I created my own song using that intro, and then I compared the song that I wrote with the actual song, and it was kind of cool. So if you ever don't know kind of like a tune to use, I would suggest doing something like that, because that was actually really helpful and it sounded really cool. Ahead of Me and When Will It Be Tomorrow by Ava Coker. You probably know her from Girl Meets World. The last one she released, Ahead of Me, the one about her cousin. So sweet. That one actually made me cry. McKenna Grace, I think it's called Do All My Friends Hate Me? I don't know. People Watching and Maniac by Conan Gray. I actually haven't listened to many songs by Conan Gray, but they've recently started been coming up on her. I actually discovered People Watching like many months ago, and I always loved that song, but I didn't start listening to the other stuff until like last month. The one I discovered in October, the memorable Tate McRae. Tate McRae is one of my favorite artists. She's actually coming out with an album really soon, and you don't know how excited I am. Tate McRae has masterpieces, I swear. Wish I Loved You in the 90s. I actually really like that song, and I know it's like not as much recognition. It's just like Hope You're Okay by Olivia Rodrigo. You Broke Me First. Last thing I have on here, and obviously there's so much more, is Why Don't We? One of my friends in middle school was like obsessed with them. I was like, this is kind of weird. But she kept playing their songs, and this must have been right after they had like gotten together or something, when Let Me Down Easy came up on this. That's a great song, and I was like, let me look into this, and now I haven't stopped listening to their songs. So Let Me Down Easy and Unbelievable are the ones that constantly get stuck in my head, but I also love Stay, Gray, that right. What's the one that they wrote for Jack? It's the one about anxiety's ledge, the memorable line. Just basically that whole album is really good. That's everything that I have on my phone. And then I wrote a message at the bottom and I was like, any powerful, sweet songs that have a good soft tempo melodies are my favorite. But I also love car bangers, ballads. Melody? I meant to say ballads. Oh wait, I didn't finish reading the message. I said any powerful, sweet songs that have a good soft tempo and strong tempo and strong message. They said love breakup songs and 2014 hits, which I already got onto there, but those are some of my favorite songs. I hope you enjoyed learning some more about me, especially with music, since that's a big thing I do on this channel. And I want to hear some of your favorite songs in the comments below. Hopefully they're working this time, because I always think they are, but they almost never are. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss when I post a video on this channel. And I will see you guys next week. Bye!